Think of 7 of your closest friends. Now imagine that one of you were just diagnosed with breast cancer. 1 in every 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer in the next year. Although breast cancer is colorblind, Caucasian women are more likely to be diagnosed with breast cancer. However, African American women will more than likely die from it. Everyone has been touched by breast cancer, united by a mother, a daughter, a sister, or even a friend. We are all survivors of breast cancer.
Okay, I would like to thank you for doing this interview with us, and if you could give us your name.
Thank you, Tony. It's my pleasure to be here. And my name is Karen E.K. Jackson.
Okay, so one of the first questions that I have for you is you are a cancer survivor, right?
I am a cancer thriver.
Thriver. And why do you call it a thriver over the cancer survivor?
Well, I feel like sometimes when we think of the word survivor, we just think we're just getting by. We're just kind of hanging in there. And my feeling is that you thrive in life, and that no matter what happens to you or what obstacles you face, that you continue with momentum and passion no matter what the situation is. And I feel like I'm more of a thriver than a survivor. But it's a blessing to be either.
So how did you find out that you had it? Was it through a regular checkup, or how did you find out you had cancer?
I found out by going to my doctor for a regular checkup, and it was in the month of August of 2003. And my physician, my gynecologist, checked me and sent me routinely for a mammogram, and he didn't find anything. And when I went for the mammogram, the technician wanted to check me more than once. And I noticed that she leaned towards my left breast, and she checked with the doctor and came back and said, well, I think we got all the information we need. We'll pretty much notify you. And when they notified me by mail, it was in writing, and they had checked the abnormal box. That's how I found out.
So what was your initial reaction to finding out all this information?
Well, I pride myself on having a very strong spiritual foundation. And when I read the information, I saw the box that was checked abnormal, and I stared at it. And I realized that instead of it being normal, you almost want to drop that check down to the other box in your mind. But I realized that I had to acknowledge the fact that they had checked this box, and that meant that I needed to go a step further and find out exactly if I could have something else that didn't appear to be normal. So I wouldn't accept that it was abnormal because I had no real confirmation. But I did acknowledge that they had told me that I need to get further treatment or further checkup.
So what do you believe got you through the whole ordeal?
Well, I believe that by the time I walked from the steps of August of being checked, and then later when I got the letter from them, and then of course going to a specialist, a breast specialist, and finding out that in fact through a biopsy they did find cells, and then from there looking at the options of, what was available to me, whether it was surgery or radiology or radiation or chemotherapy, that walking through all those steps helped me to get more education from various means, various people. And at those particular times when I looked at all that information, it helped me to understand that that was the concrete part of what was happening with me. But the emotional part of me, I had to get under control, and I had to back away from the fear. And my faith and my spirit and my faith in God helped me to do that, and the support of my family and my friends and people who reassured me that this too was a passage that I was going through, but it was not going to claim me.
So what type of advice would you give to other women going through the same situation that you've made it out of?
I would say to them that you have to know and believe that the diagnosis does not take your life, because the fear that grips you is very real when you're initially told. And from there you need to hold on to the faith and the hope that you have that the condition itself can be treated, that you will find the right answers, that you will be led and attracted to the right people, and the right circumstances that will help you cope with everything that you're being told, because there's a lot of information that comes to you, a lot of different opinions and sources, and people who mean well in what they tell you, but the final decision of deciding what's best for you is your decision, and you have to back away from fear and hold on to your faith and acknowledge that information and make the best choice you can for yourself.
Now, is there anything else you would like to say about being diagnosed with cancer?
Well, I would simply like to say, and this sounds really odd to most people when I say it, and it's been 6 years for me, and it was the left breast stage 4 when they told me. I believe stage 5 is probably the stage where most people think we transition from this world. But I would like to say that it was a blessing, and it was a positive occurrence in my life in the aftermath of finding out what I could do about it and how I could find the types of treatments that could help me best. It was a blessing in my life because it gave me the reality of loving my family, being a whole different level of acceptance and appreciation for my life. I never thought I took life for granted. I never thought I took the people I love for granted. But when your mortality is handed up to you basically on a platter, you look at everything with new eyes. And I consider myself a lucky person, a very blessed person, not lucky, but blessed person, because I was given a look at a side of life and appreciation of life that few people actually have the opportunity to see, and that's a better value and appreciation for every day that you wake up, because not everybody we know and love has lived to see this day for whatever reason, and you just don't take it for granted.
Well, I would like to say that I'm very happy, and I know a lot of your loved ones are very happy that you're still here with us. And I would like to thank you for sitting down and giving us your feelings and, kind of giving us some of your emotions of what you went through about going through the whole ordeal. So thank you for giving us a little knowledge on your whole experience, and I'd like to thank you.
Oh, and I would like to thank you, and it's my pleasure. If this helps anyone at all and gives them an opportunity to just renew their faith and their belief in the quality of their own lives, and God forbid if this should ever be anybody else's diagnosis, but it's not the end of your life. That's what they need to know.